What's up, YouTubers? Just want to do another video on tips on how to live cheap in Guatemala. And also want to touch on another beer here, if you like beer. Here I have the dark lager, the Gallo. It's the beer company in Guatemala. As far as I know, there's only one. Let me just say right now, there's a new beer come out. It's by Oots. I can't remember the full name. So far as I understand it, you can only get it in restaurants. I don't think you can buy it, but whenever I can figure out a way to get it, I'll buy it. Do a little review of it, but it looks really fantastic. Anyways, tonight I just want to highlight the dark lager that Gallo has. Again, this is a little different from the beer bock they have. There you are, you can see it. It's a nice beer, I've had it before, but I'll just show you what it looks like. It's got a nice dark color to it. Smells good. It's a really nice beer. Anyhow, on to the tips. What I found, the easiest way to live cheap in Guatemala is to either rent hotels by the month or find an apartment where you don't have to pay a deposit. In my case, this apartment right here, it's about 1,000 Q a month, which works out, I think, about $4 a day. But it's something on the order of $135 US a month. Now, in my case, this is a shared apartment, but there's no one living in it, so I got it all to myself. And I found that you can rent places by the month, or there's just hotels you can get for $5 here if you want. And speaking of hotels for $5 a night, you can get them in Shayla, you can get them on the lake. If you want to live in the capital, it's a little different there. Anywhere you live in the capital is going to be noisy, so even if you live in the nice area of town, it'll cost you more, but it's still going to be pretty noisy. But if you're going to live in the capital, I would recommend you live out in the suburbs. There's a highway that goes out towards El Salvador, and there's some nice little colonias there that you can check out. They're really cheap. Now they're going to be asking for $1,000, but you can negotiate that down to 300, 400, 500, depending on your needs. And if you're looking to stay in the capital, you can move into one of the towers. And again, they're probably going to be asking for 1,000 or 1,200, but excuse me, they'll probably settle for 300 to 500, especially if you're willing to pay 3 to 6 months in advance. And they'll probably overlook the deposit if you pay 3 to 6 months in advance. That's one way to do it. But there are a lot of places here where if you're kind of on a budget and you're not really spending out like under 200, they may ask for a deposit, but they don't really expect it. That's just something you have to work out between you and the manager or the owner. And if you can, try to find out, the owner, or talk to the manager and then talk to the owner. They'll usually work something out. They usually want to rent to foreigners. Another tip is go to the market. Like tonight, I bought a pound of peanuts. It's not quite a pound. I ate quite a few already, but that was basically $1. Now, if you go into the tourist areas, you can get something like that, just like 15 Q, which is about $2. So you can save about 50% if you go to the market and just do your shopping there. Now, if you want to shop at that higher end markets like El País, and I forget the other one in El Salvador, Selected Goods, I forget what it is here. But all these places are generally speaking owned by Walmart. They just have different names. Like you can go to the Despensa, that's owned by Walmart. El País is owned by Walmart. And I forget the other name anyhow, but if you go to those places, you're going to spend a little bit more. Sometimes not a lot more, but sometimes it can be 50, 60, 70% more, especially if you're talking like vegetables and stuff. Now you can get meats in the market. I don't, mostly because my Spanish sucks and I can't ask for kind of the cuts of meat I want and things like that. But you can get that stuff in the market. You can also get fresh fish in the market, especially if you're in the capital. Fresh fish can be quite a bit cheaper. You just pack it on ice or dry ice and put it in the cooler and take it wherever you're going. Anyhow, what I found is if you do your vegetables and fruits, buy those in the market, they're a lot fresher, a lot more wholesome. And I'm not going to say they're all organic, but they're mostly organic or more natural because they're just growing on small farms and small plots of land. Same with the chicken and the beef. If you have the chicken and beef, there's very little steroids and things like that. So it's a lot. The taste is quite a bit better, even if you buy it in the high-end department stores. It tastes really fantastic. But like, say you're on a budget and you want to live cheap. Well, the things you want from you know the United States or Europe, you can get them in the higher end malls, so in grocery stores. So you won't save much money there, but some of it's about the same as it be in the United States. If you're coming from Europe, then it's going to be quite a bit cheaper. And if you get your fruits and vegetables and stuff in the market, you'll save a lot. And my point is, depending on the quality of food and what you like, you can eat in the restaurants cheap, but the quality of food to me isn't quite on par with what you get in Mexico or Mexico City. The sophistication of the connoisseur or the taste there are a little different. Here things are a lot more simple, so you're going to pay a lot more for a lot simpler meal. If you like that, cool. If not, you probably will start wanting to make your own food, and that will save you a lot. And what I do is I just get a crock pot or a slow cooker, and if they're about $20-$25. And to me, it's just a throwaway expense. I don't care if I just use it a month and just throw it away, but just buy a crock pot, buy what you want to cook, and then throw everything in the morning, and then in the afternoon all your food's done, and it's really affordable and cheap. Like you can buy a quarter chicken for like 80 cents or a buck. Just throw in some vegetables and rice, and away you go. That's what I do, not every night, but that's what I do. Or you can put in a roast or whatever it is you like. I mostly like to kind of steam vegetables and rice in it, but everyone's tastes are a little different. Any more tips? Not really. It's just get an apartment where everything's included in the rent. Mine, everything's included: internet, Wi-Fi, cable TV. It's all for like 135 bucks. Uh, do your shopping in the market where it's a lot more affordable. And if you live a simple life, you can live in Guatemala for 5, 6, 7, 800 bucks, quite easy, and you're not really sacrificing too much. It's even including booze, junk food, potato chips, stuff like that. If you eat out in a bar or restaurant, or you drink a lot in the restaurants and bars, then it's going to cost you more. But even then, drinks are mostly like $2, 2.50, so it's really not bad. And if you go to the store and buy a beer, you can get one beer in the store for like $1.50 or less. A lot of the imported beer is about $2 a bottle or $2 a can, depending on what you get. So even there, you can drink affordably. If you get the Brazilian beer, it's going to be like 80 cents a can for like a pint. A pint of Gallo, the regular beer is about a buck. So if you want a pint of beer, you can get it for about a buck or 80 cents if you want the Brazilian brand. Anyhow, those are just my tips for living in Guatemala cheap. And if you like the video, give me some feedback, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Thank you.